game up, I want to talk about Shadow Warrior because it doesn't allow streaming. So these are two new games on the Game Pass, and I just want to cover them both because they're both kind of, Eastern-inspired games. So why not? Very different games though, because Shadow Warrior is a shooter, and this is a Dark Souls game. Kind of. Anyways, really quick, Shadow Warrior. Terrible game. Like, not like dog water quality terrible, but a lot of the movement systems, especially on wall running and stuff, just didn't work. Some of the mantling just didn't work. It wasn't consistently working. Led me to getting hit in fights. The grappling felt really stiff. It wasn't as funny as the other ones. A lot of people were saying that. I actually kind of agree because I have played the other ones. Yeah, I bet you weren't expecting that me to hit you with some Shadow Warrior shit. Well, I will say the graphics are alright. The enemy design was pretty cool. I like their take on the Doom style because they have a straight up Doom game. But that being said, when your movement does not work cleanly and you get hit because of that, it just comes off, especially like when it's supposed to be fast paced. The grapple was not solid. You grapple barrels and it just kind of awkwardly roll. There's no consistency. I think that's the key thing. There was no consistency in the gameplay, so it never felt right. It never felt good to play. You would shoot vines if you jumped on it too quickly to try to like wall run on them. You just wouldn't attach. Sometimes you just wouldn't attach properly. You'd slide off the vines anyways for wall runs. Is there anything else I have to say about that game? There was a few sections of the game where, like, there's a raft section. That's where I give up. There was a raft section. There's other things like this, but this is like the one example I'll give. And where your raft goes through like a solid object, and it's just like, oh, I'm not squeezing through there. I need to get off. Now there's a very clear path off to the left, but there's some enemies that crash into a ship, and they crash into this spiky gem thing. It's like there's no way I'm getting through there. It's like, let's find a way around. I stuck on that raft because like they crashed in, the ship crashes, the gems are still there, and your raft just phases through the gems? Like, what? And I sit on that raft and I got pushed into the water and I restart all the way like 2 minutes back and go through the boring raft ride again, shooting like the projectiles and stuff. It wasn't hard, it's just the amount of time it sent me back was ridiculous for just following the water. I could just spawn me in the shoreline nearby. That's what I have to say about Shadow Warrior. Honestly, if you've never played Shadow Warrior 1, pick that game up. It's old, but it is a solid game. Shadow Warrior 2, if you don't like shooter looters, then don't bother with it, but it is a good game as well. I just don't like looters, and I couldn't really get into it. First one is by far, I think, the best. And I will agree with like the script writing on 3 was terrible. Let's talk about Ulan.